over 100K in less than six
Well,
months is
almost two,
just
it's almost 200K, just
wow.
letting you know. It's 183, 400.
All right, we have Miriam in the house. Can I get a whoa, 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 whoa? Congratulations for joining the 100K club, Miriam. That is amazing. How does it feel?
Amazing.
And you almost hit 80K this month in
Yes,
January.
yes.
Wow, but you'd already done that 100K, so that's incredible. So look, what's changed since we saw each other last? Obviously, our last one was a 10K club, now a 100K club. What do you think what's the belief change, or what have you learned in that process?
The belief change for me has been that I can do it. Like there's no limits. That's completely like been annihilated. I had 2 months where I was still kind of fighting with that mindset stuff, but that's like I've thrashed that. It's completely gone. And I just can't even get there quick enough. In fact, I feel like I can do so much more all the time. So that's been the biggest change for me. And honestly, going through the program so many times, I've lost count. Just having that overview, like I know what's happening, that holistic view, I know what to expect, I know what I need to do. Not taking anything personal, if an ad needed a bit more time, whatever, just totally understanding what needs to be done and just constantly refining and getting better at it and enjoying that process.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. But I don't think that is a normal thing today. People don't really get that. If you want my honest opinion, people go to the online space, they think it should immediately work, and that the majority give up with that thought process, and that's the truth. And sometimes it does take a little bit of time to refine, but it's not like a lifetime. What was the initial problem, just to remind, like what was the reminder of like why did you join in the first place? What was the biggest problem that was stopping you?
I had no clue. Let's just start there. Okay, so I had a lot of experience, like most people do. I mean, some people have a little, some people have a lot of experience, and I honestly had no idea where to start. And I had been on the online space, working for others, watching people in marketing and so on. But you just grabbed me. Like I think Ed, like the first time I saw you, you were doing a filter. There was a female filter on your face. In, and I saw how your reels, and I go, this guy's different. He's not afraid to be different. He's not afraid to be fun, make this fun. And I heard you on Clubhouse and I could tell you cared. So that initially was the decision maker for me. I knew you knew your stuff, but I also knew I wanted to learn from you. But honestly, I had nothing. I started off just over 6 months ago with zero, like no coaching business. And then now it's like phenomenal what's happening. It's just like growing and growing. And that's been, yeah, the big thing change for me.
Wow. So look, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Look, I think let me dive into them. So the numbers, let me talk about the numbers. When you're on the outside looking at other people's numbers and they go like, wow, that is astronomical. And I think for some people it's like that, I can't understand how, because I don't, let me finish. I don't understand how people can do that, because I'm working like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. I'm generating X amount per month. And how will I ever, and so they immediately go, I'll obviously have to work a shit mile more in order to get like that. And that's because, again, most people in the online space are starting something on the side so that they have a career and they're earning 2K, 4K, whatever, right? No judgment on that. But then they're starting something on the side and it's like, an extra 300 or 400. And then it never really gets any traction and they've got no time left. And so they're stuck in this problem where they can't. And so therefore, the majority of people don't believe that that's even possible, because they go, well, I've got no more time left. Right. And so therefore, when you do have a system in place and you automate it up, and then you can start looking at price points, you start looking at what is the offer, you start targeting your ideal clients so that they're paying, and then you start scaling it up to the fact that there's millions of people online. And if you don't have a process in place, you'll never get access to them. And you will get to a stage like I know, Miriam, you're phasing into your group coaching program now. So that means that's immediately as you start putting more and more people into that, you start going, shit me, like I'm really not doing anything. And you go like, you get this stage where you go like, oh my God, when it's all really built and it's like providing, the results, and you're not really there, you're just, you're doing extra support, which is great. And they're really appreciative, but you're like in the contrast of where you were, you're like working like all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so, people are always really appreciative of the fact that I'm there. But at the same time, I'm in the space of like, you don't see what I used to do. Right. You don't see the amount of times back in the day where I would literally be 24/7, like, whereas you can build a systemization process that you have a group coaching program that has amazing results. You still provide live support so that they're getting that personalization. Personalization is definitely the word of the year. And, it's not taking up, this huge amount of your time, and you've got unlimited scale. So look, I'm really excited for you to go to that stage. That's the reason why people can never get huge figures. Then number two, yeah, I do like I do like to be fun. Fun is really important part of the process.
So
And I think
Yeah.
having a business today, less so that you actually need to be someone that is serious or whatever, because at the end of the day, you're going to attract your people. And there are people that will hate me, whatever. So it is what it is. That, again, I think the quicker you get to just being more authentic to who you are. And I mean, what is important, you have to lead with what you know, right? So you said that first, you knew what you had listened, and you knew that I knew what I was talking about.
Yes.
If I didn't know what I was talking about, then you got a problem, right? Then you see me on an Instagram filter with a female filter on, and you're thinking, shit, this guy's super weird. So lead with the client problem. If you understand your client's problem, number one, then you're an immediate expert in that problem. And then number two, you can start to let your personality be as authentic as you want to express in today's world in the most efficient way. And I do believe, fundamentally having a business that is automated is about having it on your own times. Having fun is the most important component. And okay, so look, thanks for that, appreciate that. What do you think? I love the fact that you said now you can really, and let's go in on that. Now you really believe, you've seen it, you've got validation, you've got the confidence, you've got the offer in place, the systems are going through, you've gone through the program multiple times, which is really important. I can't drill it in enough how most people today in today's learning environment, they go from one thing to another thing to another thing, and they never relearn on stuff. Even today, when I have something that I want to put in, I'll go through it a couple of times, so I get really compounded on what that is. I love that. And I can see how many times you have, so we can see exactly how many times people go through. And we know always the more you go through it, the easier it becomes, and that there's actually nothing else that any online business needs bar that structure. But I love the fact that you said like now you truly know that you can do as much as you want. I mean, how does that feel emotionally for you at this stage in your life to have that?
Honestly, I just feel really grateful is a big word, and I have a sense of calm about me, which is natural to my personality, but a different level of calm, and knowing that I can at any time further down the track utilize the same system, you know, once I've built this up, if I want to do other facets to what I do, I've got this confidence that I've got this resource now, this level of knowledge now that to me on it personally is invaluable. So I know I've said it before that the structure really made a huge difference for me. And I think that's a big problem out there. I feel like everyone's listening to so many different people and just applying a little bit from here, a little bit from there, and not really getting any results. So when I started this, there was 2, 3 mentors in my life, and Ed, I removed them and literally said, I'm just listening to Ed. And like, these are super cool people as well, just like you. So I just said, I'm just listening to Ed. I don't need any, I saw contrasting belief systems coming through, and that I saw personally was affecting my mindset. So I said, no, I'm just going to listen to Ed. I've showed up at probably 98% of your coaching sessions. Even if there's no questions, nothing new, even if it's just reiterating the message that I hear coming from you. And I found that absolutely invaluable. Just even watching you in how you deliver what you do and how you do what you do, I feel like it's given me a more sophisticated way to approach my coaching. And because of that, my clients are getting results quicker. And because of that, my business is growing quicker.
Love it. I mean, such a powerful point. And it's, look, I do the same thing. So for example, like you go down in on something and really refine that. It's amazing that you can realize the conflicting beliefs.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, because again, a lot of people, it's difficult. Like, I appreciate it. Like, and we live in a world where the majority of people have listened to podcasts, listened to videos, you know, bought books and haven't read them, and they never really go down on something deep enough to get the actual result. And there are a lot of people, in my view, out there that you know, don't sell in the most efficient way, as in it's more about their back end than it's about your client's back end. We could be more profitable multiply different ways if we were to drop our values.
Yeah.
And you know, really, you know, there'll be many ways of which I know exactly how to do that, but
Yeah.
it's more important that, you know, authenticity to what I believe is the best way for someone in your position to really start seeing cash flow. As you start seeing cash flow, then you are more stable. And as you start to become more stable, you don't, I don't buy into that you need to work for the rest of your life, because
Yeah.
that is a core, you know, there's such a core weakness within entrepreneurship, that you're never satisfied. And
Yeah.
for people, you know, if you're learning from someone that says that they're never satisfied, then that means that nothing's ever good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is a dismal black hole to go down. And you don't need to have that sort of life. You know, at the end of the day, you only have one life. And, you know, creating a business where you are feeling good and fulfilled is a vital ingredient. Yes, money is byproduct of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you start to build the systems and you start to create a really nice balance in your life as you go on, and maybe kids, maybe partner, maybe family, whatever, like there's important that you have, you know, that part of your life covered, because there's no point getting into the end of your life and then going, fucking, what have I got? Just a load of cash.
Absolutely. See, I really agree with that on a value system. That's one of the main reasons that I came to do your program, because I understood that most of my life I was geared to be. I've worked for so many companies, Ed,
Mm,
like I'm talking about, you know, 9-figure companies and so on, and done so much for them, but I never did anything really for myself. And I just thought about my future, and, you know, I want to have that freedom to be with my parents as they're aging, you know, take them on trips around the world, you know, have someone in my life, like do all those things, because the meaning of life for me is so much more than money, even though money to me is also something that when you put passion into what you do and you become really good at it and you care about the result that it gives people, it's the natural, like you said, byproduct. So it was a big shift for me to even start caring enough about myself to start doing this for me. So that's what this whole process has given me as well.
oh, beautiful. And then to compound on what else you said there. So look, then the calm, like having that level of calm is not common in entrepreneurship, because most people think that entrepreneurship is this massive instability and also a massive risk. And it number one, you don't need to die trying to build something really, like from where we are to a stage today is just like phenomenal. From scratch to, over 100K in less than
Well,
six months is
almost two,
just
it's almost 200K, just
wow.
letting you know. It's 183, 400.
But that's incredible. And it's like,
Yeah.
and the reason, with a proven sales process in place, like most people in the online space are so obsessed with building a social media, following. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, they are, when you really look at it, the social media platforms are convincing people, and they have their own agenda. Their agenda is never leave our platform, right? Ever. So they're going to hardwire it so no one leaves. And then you've got all loads of people saying, the only way to have an online business is to create more followers, right? Which is going to take years.
Yeah.
And so therefore the majority don't make any money. The majority give up because they don't make any money. And if you've put in a sales process in place, then that is the quickest way to get stability. And then when you have cash flow coming in, you start, having more infrastructure that sets up other people to do stuff for you, which is probably the best thing like the next stage is when you start to get other people to do
I've
stuff.
started that, Ed.
Amazing.
I have a team which I was building sort of in the back end of last year. So now my group coaching starts officially on Tuesday next week, just so you know. And my team is the way I've set it up is amazing. Like I don't pay anything till the job's done. So I've got a good system already starting. So I'm excited for the clients with what they're going to get out of this. On the PR side of things, going to be cool.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm excited to go into that. All right. That being said, Meryem, you've done amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, because it never works without amazing people like yourself. And from the beginning, you were someone that just consistently just went through it, regardless of what challenges came up. You consistently just sat in it and dealt with it, put yourself into empowerment consistently. And that's why it's always a privilege and a pleasure to be part of your journey.
Thank you.
That being said, what would you say to anyone that was on the edge of joining, that was worried, scared? I think sometimes people are worried about the tech, or worried about whether the support's going to be right for them, etc.
Okay, so just starting with the support level is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I honestly have to say it's exceptional. And I've worked for global brands. Like, I'm not just this is the real deal. The level of support, the amount of presence that Ed and Dave and the team have, and they're all just, their skill sets just fire. Like, you're getting incredible levels of support, and the fact that they can customize their approach to everybody is unique and rare. So that alone is like a no-brainer. The program itself is amazing. I honestly believe it's simple, it's slick, it's easy. And the tech side, there's so much support anyhow, like if you get stuck in the tech side, but it's done so well in the program. The tech side is done so simply, so accurately, so well. There's nothing to worry about, honestly, at all. Like, it's so easy. And it is so worth it. So, like, the investment that you make, I think I got it back by month 2. So it's a no-brainer. Like, don't even think about it. It's the best decision you will make for your business. It was for me. And I'm saying this, like, I've honestly have done things the hard way in life and worked for companies that woke me up at midnight and worked till 4, like being in retail. Like, I've had it hard, but this has been an absolute breath of fresh air, and it will change your life. So you just go for it and thank me later for recommending it.
Well, Meryem, give yourself a hand. Let's get down to your next steps. As again, look, I'm privileged to be part of it, because, like, you and I were the same sort of person. And so that's what we really specialize in, making sure that we are aligned with our client,
Yeah.
and so that we can connect in the deepest way possible. And it's been a pleasure having
Thank
you. Right.
you.
So let's get to your next steps.